Hi there and welcome to another video from Hegarty Maths. It's Mr. Hegarty here, and in this video we're talking about addition, and in particular we're going to talk about column addition. Right, linking to previous learning. Previously on Hegarty Maths I urged you super strongly to learn your addition facts. So that was adding together any digits from 0 to 10 to any other digits from 0 to 10. So hopefully you went away and practiced those, and if you haven't, please go and do so. But I'm going to work on the assumption that we know these facts. The next thing I'm going to work on the assumption we know is that we know our place value column names. So say if I had 4,537, I would like to think that you know the following. I would like to think that you know that this is the ones column. I would like to think that you know this is the tens column, and that you know that this is the hundreds column, and finally that you know that this is the thousands column. Because that's going to be really important when we're adding things up. That 4 isn't a 4, it's 4,000. So we're going to rely on both place value and both the fact that you know all your addition facts. If you do know those, we're ready to rock and do some really easy questions. So let's start. If you feel like you can do these, have a go. Otherwise, I'm going to work through them. To work out 543, add 236. Now, in maths, we have an efficient way of doing our addition. We can do these things in our head, but when we have to show our written methods, it's best to lay your additions and later on your subtractions out in what's called columns. So this is how we'd write this out. 5, 4, 3. We would tell that we are adding, and we would add 2, 3, 6 underneath, just like that. We would put a line under to say that we're going to add these up. And let's add these up then. This is the ones column, this is the tens column, this is the hundreds column. 6 ones add 3 ones is 9 ones, so we'll put a 9 there. 3 tens add 4 tens is 7 tens or 70, so we'll put a 7 there. And 2 hundreds plus 5 hundreds is 7 hundreds, and we would put a 7 there. So going back up to our question, we were asked to work this out. We think the answer is 779. And we're done there. Have a quick sense check before you go on, a quick estimate. That's roughly 500, that's roughly 200. I'm saying the answer is about 700 or 800. It seems like I've done it right. Always have a go at sense checking your work. Okay, let's have a go at another example. If you feel like you can do this, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll show you now. Evaluate. The examiner is asking us to evaluate this sum, 543 at 239. The word evaluate just means work out. Now we said we're going to do our additions in nice neat columns, right? So let's do that. Let's write 543 here. Let's write plus to tell we're doing adding. Let's write the 2 under the 5, the 3 under the 4, and the 9 under the 3. And let's draw ourselves a line, and let's do this addition. Now 9 ones add 3 ones are 12 ones. Now we've got 12 ones, and 12 ones are the same thing as 110 and 2 ones left over. Okay, so imagine you had 12 little squares here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, 11 and 12. That's 12 separate ones, but we could think of it as 110, and we could think of it as 2 ones left over, right? So we can't put anything more than one digit in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we've got 2 ones left over, but we've also created 110, which we are going to put into the tens column. 110, add 4 tens is 5 tens, add 3 tens is 8 tens, so we can write an 8 here. And 500s plus 200s is 700s. So this case was slightly harder because we had to carry a 10 we had created in the ones column over to the tens column, and that's called carrying. So let's go up here and let's write our final answer. We think it's 782, and let's just check it's right. That's about 550, that's about 240, 550 at 240 is about 790. That seems correct. Another example. If you want to, go ahead and do it, otherwise I'll go through now. The examiner's asked us to find the sum of these two numbers, and we've got to remember from a previous video, sum means to add. So let's do a column addition. 3,543 add 1,639, and let's put a line under it. Okay. 9 ones plus 3 ones are 12 ones, which means we have 2 ones and a 10, which we can carry there. So 12 we can put down the 2, carry the 110 over here. 110 add 4 tens is 5 tens, add 3 tens is 8 tens. No carrying from here. Now here, 5 hundreds plus 6 hundreds is 11 hundreds. Okay, so that means we've got 1,100. So 5 plus 6 we can say is 11. We're going to carry the 1 and carry over the 1,000 over here. 1,000 add 3,000 is 4,000, add another 1,000 is 5,000. So the answer is 5,182, and that's roughly 3,500, that's roughly 1,500, adding them is about 5,000. We've got the right answer here. Next example. Find the sum of 507, 54 and 2,704. I'm going to write the biggest one first. I just think it's easier. I'm going to write 2,704. I'm going to write the next biggest next. So I'm going to write the 5 there, the 0 there, and the 7 there. And lastly, I'm going to write the 54 there and tell the examiner we're doing a plus, and also draw a line underneath it. Now, just be super careful in this case. Students make a classic mistake here. Everything's got to be lined up from the ones column. They do things like this, 2,704, and they'd write 507 here, and they'd write 54 here. Everything's in the wrong columns then, and they'd get that totally wrong. So just be super careful. Your ones column's lined up. Everything else should fall into place. 4 add 7 is 11. Add 4 is 15. So put down the 5, that's 5 ones, and carry one of the 10s over into here. 1 add 0 is 1, add 5 is 6. So that's 6 tens, we can just write 6 tens in there. 7 hundreds plus 5 hundreds is 12 hundreds, so we can put 2 hundreds in there, and we can put the 1 over here for 1,000. 1,000 add 2,000 is 3,000. And we have our answer, 3,265. Looking back at our numbers here, 500 add 2,700, it's about 3,200. Add the 50s, about 3,250. Our answer seems reasonable. We have sense checked it. Last example. This is a slightly different problem. You're asked to find the missing digits. The column addition's been set up for you. Now, this is the ones. This is the tens column, this is the hundreds column, and this is the thousands column, right? So, 2 ones add 9 ones is 11 ones. That's when you put down the 1, and you've got to carry a 1 over here, haven't you? So that's why this question is a bit difficult. It's asking you to check the mechanics of this problem. Now, 1 add 7 is 8. Add something ends in a 4. Now, that number has got to be 6, because 8 add 6 is 14. That's the only thing that can end in a 4. So that's got to be 6, which means we get 14, and we put down the 4 and we carry the 1 again. 1 add 4 is 5. 5 add 7 is equal to 12. So we put down the 2 and we carry a 1. Now the question is, what goes in this box? Well, 1 and that one is 2, and we need whatever number gets us up to 6. So that must be 4. And having done it now, let's just check it's actually right. Imagine all the carries weren't there. Would it work out? 4472 add 1769. Let's just do it. 9 add 1 is 9 add 2 is 11. Put down the 1, carry the 1. 1 add 7 is 8. Add 6 is 14. Put down the 4, carry the 1. 1 add 4 is 5. Add 7 is equal to 12. Put down the 2, carry the 1. 1 add 4 is 5. Add the other one is 6. That all worked out perfectly. And that's it for this video. That's us having practiced our column addition. Hope you found that useful. Thanks very much for watching.